Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Makerspace with AriesEDC. I hope you guys are having a great day. We're just going to be hanging out. We might even have a guest tonight. It's kind of flying by our seat of our pants. If they show up, they show up. If not, it's no big deal. But it would be awesome if they did, and we could talk to them about the stuff that they have going on, along with the stuff that I have going on. So I hope you guys are having a great day and are ready to just chill out and hang out. Before we get going anything, I just have a small celebration because the home floor project is done. Miss Aries and I finished that yesterday. We've been recuperating today. The time change got us all messed up, but that's okay. We're going to make it through. I know everybody says you gain an hour of sleep, but then, yeah, right now it's 8 o'clock, but it would be 9 o'clock. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. Let's see who all is here. We got Henry G in the house. Marco, channel member. What's going on, Marco? I should probably do this over here. Let's do this over here so I can see better. Tegan, what's going on, Tegan? Donnie Bless in the house. What's going on, Donnie? I hope you're doing well, man. Killing it with those Ripleys and that you in the vapor, right? That you've been posting, man. Those things are sick. Doing great. B Shady, what's going on, B Shady? Mick Ranger, channel member, and B Shady is a channel member as well. I really appreciate you guys. I should do more for my channel members. I'm sorry. Kelly's Mishmash in the house, moderator and channel member. Make sure you're checking out Kelly's Mishmash's channel. She does some really cool stuff. Jim Miller's in the house, channel member and master moderator. What's going on, Jim? And just so we're all clear, Jim has, okay, wait, I got to remember now. 1, 2, 3, 5 AriesEDC fixed blades. Just last week we said 4, but he has 5. He has 5. Confirmed. Confirmed 5. Robin Dallin, what's going on, channel member? Thank you very much for popping in. I don't know how long I'm going to last tonight, guys. Timby, master moderator. What's going on, Timby? I hope you're doing well, and we'll get some good news with all those visits you had on Thursday. Hope everything goes well. Sean Batts in the house. What's going on, Sean? Channel member. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see who else is here. I don't want to miss anybody. Titanium Justin in the house. Make sure you're checking out Titanium Justin's channel and Donnie Bless's channel. And I don't know who else has a channel in here, but we will throw it out there. Urban Woodsman. What's going on, Urban? Check out his channel as well, doing some really cool stuff over there. All right. Very cool. I'm all caught up with the chat. I hope you guys are having a good evening. Like I said, we might have a guest or we might not have a guest. It kind of depends. If we do, great. If we don't, great. It's kind of flying by our seat of our pants. Just having a good chat with you guys. Trying to keep up with the chat and not fall asleep on you guys, basically, is what the goal is today. That is the goal. But I got some new knives in on the channel. I was able to get some work done in the shop and get caught up. And it's the final push for the end of the year. So I'm trying to get all of those things done, trying to stick to the plan. I shared my plan with you guys, so I'm kind of hoping that we can stick to that plan and keep doing well and staying on top of that kind of stuff so that I don't fall behind. I don't want to fall behind. Look who's entered, Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen, channel member. Kathleen, I hope you are doing well. Good to see you in here. I hope you're having a great weekend. All right, so while we're waiting for more people to come in, why don't we start with some pocket checks? I will share with you mine while you guys are typing yours. I got, boom, the Vosted Croc in the pocket today. This is the Vosteed croc with that cool ocean micarta, which is very nice. I love the size and the shape on this one. The top liner lock works very well. If you have, I will say, if you have a beefy hand, you have to be careful. It will catch you. It caught me twice the other day when I first got it. So you can't hold it like this when you close it. Make sure you hold it out because it will catch you if you're not paying attention. That's for sure. But what do you guys think of that? The croc is pretty stinking cool. So that was in the pocket, and in the belt today was the AriesEDC Hawk. This is my Hawk. This is the prototype Hawk. The very first Hawk I ever did. So I had that on the belt today, which is pretty cool. We got the burlap micarta with the brass pins, and an excellent carry, which, you know, I've been working on a project for the end of the year. I started to put together, Urban, I saw your question. I'm going to answer this question in a second. I've been working on the end of the year video. So right now I'm trying to put together a video of every blade that I made for 2025 and just do like a quick snippet, just showing a slideshow of every blade that I've done for 2025. It's turning out pretty stinking cool. Urban asked, did I get the 4 blades sent off for heat treat? Yes. The Torcido, the Tobico, the Wesser, and that spike, the LMAX spike, were all sent out for heat treat. So all 4 of those were sent out for heat treat. So they're all sent out on Friday. Ryan Ellis in the house. What's going on, Ryan? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good evening, sir. Roger Baker, hello. I hope you are doing good as well. Kelly's, thanks. It's been a rough few days. Not carrying anything now, but earlier I had a dragonfly and a pedal. Awesome. I mean, oh, did I miss people's pocket check? Oh yeah. Kelly's Mishmash, the Kunwu Pulsar. Oh, catches me on the palm if I'm not careful. Yeah, there's a couple of them that'll do that, but the croc definitely caught me when I did the unboxing and I was playing with it. I was holding it deep in the palm when I was doing that, and man, it caught me like twice, so I had to. It was annoying. All right, Sean, I see you. I'll wait for you. There it is. Yeah, it's going to be a cool video, Irvin. I'm just gonna. I try to do it every year, finish off the year, and I show off every single blade that I made, and hopefully it'll be 100. We're gonna get close. Matt Maurer, what's going on, man? Welcome in, welcome in. Steve Parks, what's going on? Steve Parks, welcome in. Tim Titanium Justin's got the CMB Devourer and Artisan Cutlery Clio. I love the Clio, man. That Clio is awesome. So what is the number of designs you made this year? Number of designs? I don't know. That's a tough question. Like new designs? We had the Hawk, the Thistle, the Micro, I don't know. I'm going to have to go through it. I don't remember. Blade-wise, the croc is very similar to the way it looks. It comes down so I can see it. Yeah, totally. It totally gets you. It's, you know, it's a smaller blade, but when you hit the button, you don't want to have the blade back here because it'll catch you. It'll catch you on the hand. Definitely will catch you on the hand. Jim Miller's got the Sea Riser Cutlery, Appalachian Rid Runner, Hot Brass, Jack Wolf Midnight Fixie. Awesome, Jim. Speaking of the new Thorn, made it to the local post office today, hoping they'll get it tomorrow. Yeah, Sean, all the Thorns went out. Congratulations to everybody who picked up a Thorn. I sold all 7 Thorns on Wednesday in about 15 minutes, and they were all shipped out on Friday. So you guys should be getting them throughout the week, so that'll be awesome. I'm glad that went well. All right. So we do have a guest. We've had him in here before. We've talked about him. We have talked about Three Feather EDC. And so let's welcome Sean from Three Feather EDC. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Yeah, I just wanted to. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, great. I can hear you great.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, man? I just wanted. I haven't heard. I wanted to live stream. I just been so busy lately, so I wanted to check in with everybody. Yeah, uh, your participants are fantastic. So always like keep in touch with everybody and just kind of
you've been
what's
been
going
busy.
On, yeah, yeah. I've been a little busy, but
you've been busy.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, but yeah, there's a couple people that have reached out to me afterwards. So and then I've stayed in touch with. But I'm always and matter of fact, as far as production wise, we're getting through our production schedule now, and then we're going to kind of take a break a little bit before we move into the next phase of sheets and EDC.
That's awesome.
Stuff like that. So
that is awesome. And just so you guys know, I have talked about it before, and I've worked out with Sean. We have to work out a little bit of details offline, but
yeah, right.
Sean has agreed, and for 2026 there will be a leather option for AriesEDC books. So if you get onto the books, Sean, just so I've explained it to you, I think offline,
right,
so everybody knows. Anybody who gets into the books, I have a form for which you fill out, and on that form you pick what model you want, what blade finish, what handle materials, what kydex, etc., etc. Well, now there's an option for a leather sheath for a modified price, obviously.
Right.
And what will happen is when I get the blade done, I'll send that blade to Sean and over at Three Feather EDC. He'll make the sheath, send it back to me, and then I ship everything. I'll finish everything off and send it to you guys. So there will be an option for a leather sheath. Now, these are your options, because we know Sean loves his colors, and we can get caught in the weeds with everything.
No. First of all, I just want to say, and this is honestly because I've worked on a few of the designs that you've done, both through your personal and through Kubi, and honestly, when I get a knife, I'm like, they want something to make it pop, and honestly, I'm like, the knife is. I feel kind of the knife is the thing. So I'm like, that's look at the knife. I mean, come on, I don't know what I could do to make it better, because it's just, I mean, everything you do is just, I mean, I've been a follower before you and I talked. I mean, everything you do is fantastic. And they're like, well, I'd like to do something like this. And I'm like, but, so there's some of those that I get the knife and it's just like, it's perfect the way it is. And if I had that, I'd probably walk around town with it in my hand, just holding it up. They're so fantastic. They're such good quality. They're so beautiful.
Thank you.
So it's a personal preference. If somebody wants some way to carry it or display what they have, I'm just so blessed and grateful that I get to work with people, with knife makers, but especially with you. And that's kind of why I reached out today, is that the people that really enjoy their craft and take pride in what they do. That's such a treat for me to do that. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much. I think it'll be awesome. But just so you guys know, so this is what we have worked out. You have two options. You have two color options. You can choose brown or black.
Yeah.
So you can choose brown or black. And you can choose either the pocket dropper with the clip, or you could choose the belt loop, so you can scout carry it. But I think we're going to do the two. So we're going to do the 2 loops, but it's either going to be black
Right. Yeah.
or brown. So
Correct.
that's what we have decided, because if you want a full crazy colored Sean goes all out and has
yeah.
fun,
I mean, I wouldn't go crazy.
you
But
can
no,
send
people,
it back to him.
yeah, no, it's a personal preference, and even on this side of it, seeing what people order, and I guess as a designer, you kind of put more emphasis on the things that you like, and so, but even with this and the doing this and the creative things, I like the artistry of doing what we do. But believe it or not, people are like, "I'll take brown." You don't want black, and it's like, but this would look really cool with your night. They're like, I want brown, I want, so no, that's the thing is yeah, keeping it, because once you, like you said, the main thing is the knife. They're not buying the sheet, they're buying the knife, and that's the knife, and you make beautiful knives. And so, like I say, anything that I can do to be a part of that is just, for me, is very humbling. Um, so it's very cool for me. But yeah, that is definitely an option. And if they want to go further beyond that, then, because it's going to be, I mean, colors are going to vary. I mean, when you start getting into that realm of it, it's going to be person to person. It really is. So.
And that's why, like, it's hard enough for people to make decisions just on handle material, because when they find, like, on that form, I have a couple links that they can go to, Jantz and Maker Material Supply, which are my 2 biggest. Their websites are pretty easy, and they can look at all the different colors and pictures and everything else. But people get caught in the weeds just picking handle materials. So I didn't. Yes, you can do a lot of different colors and varieties and everything else. But I wanted it clean. I wanted it simple. I didn't want it to be crazy on both ends. For me to try to get all that information, and then for you to have to put that all together, I just wanted it simple and easy. So, it's crazy. Yeah, Henry Ford said it was best when I started. The Model T is something like you can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Yeah, and so my grandfather, I come from an Irish family. My grandfather, when it came to kind of like business stuff, it's, it was very, these are the, kind of the staples. You do this and you honor your word. You do what you say you're going to do. Can't do it, just tell them, because they're going to appreciate that. But one of the things he told me is, when you have a business and you get as specified as you are, you say, I make one kind of, I make one kind of ice cream cone. You can have chocolate or vanilla, and that's it. Because you can get lost in those details.
Oh yeah,
and the details are, you can't be everything to everybody. So
I laugh a lot with that, because people are, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I can give you my opinion, but it's not my knife; it's your knife. So I want it to be what you want. So there's Rory, finally made it down from the mountain. I know you've been chatting with Rory a lot.
No, no, I draw. There's some of that I and that's part of the discussion that I love, is that some people are like Rory, or some people are like, well, I like this, or do you do this? So one of the things that I did was, and you just never know. It's just something that I'm a note taker, and I worked for an attorney years back, and he's like a grandfather to me, Mr. Waldman. And Mr. Waldman, was one of the things that, hey, you carry no pad to pen. That's just it, and so one of the things I did was, I did actually have it right here. This is one of the things I do, is like, I did this for me. Is this kind of a notepad? I made it a little swanky, because it's got my logo in it. But this is something for me, because notes are important. And then this is like my production schedule book that I did, and this is for me. And so Rory actually reached out and was like, "Hey, I want a notebook cover for this." And I'm like, so I sent him, I said, like this? And he's like, yes, like that. Go ahead and send it to me. And I'm like, well, but there's some of that you get inspiration from that. people that'll send you things and, um, hey, can you do this and do, um, try to make this or, whatever. And I get, what if we do this and, collaborate? It's a true collaboration. It really is,
Oh
as
yeah.
to what what their vision is. And it's
Yep.
not my vision. And I can't put it out there and say, this is what you need. So
Mm-hmm.
you're absolutely right. The only time that I can really, um, honestly say this is what you need is like when I look at your knives, because I have those things where I'm like, well, it'd be really cool. And like the first time we met, I said, what would really be cool, and I don't see this often, is this and this. And it was to happen to be one that you were scout carrying. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see. But yeah,
Good.
sheet design is very preferential. Yeah, that's, it's like, I wish they made a knife that did this, this, and this. And then you're like, well, this is what I'm working on. I'm like, that's the knife I'm talking about. It's
Yep.
yeah, perfect. So
And
yeah.
next year Concept is going to be making that. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
I collaborated with Concept, and they picked up this design, and they're going to be making this design in
That's
sometime 2026.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
And I got 2 other designs coming out today. Maybe I can share with you guys a picture of a rock hopper in progress. Kubi reached out. I shared a picture of the thorn last week, but they shared a picture of the rock hopper, but it was before the bevels were ground in. And so I'm really excited about those. Should be coming out in the next before the end of the year. I have 2 more coming out with Kubi. So it'll be
That's awesome.
Yeah, Rory said you do beautiful work. He's an artist, just like me, and I was like, thank you very much, Rory. Thank you very much.
That's a great compliment. But honestly, the art really goes into the blades, honestly, because if you look at the designs that people come up with, and it's they're just like, for me, it's more of a, I think this might look good with that, but it starts, that base is the blade. It honestly is. Anything I do accentuates it or whatever, but the genius is in the making of the blade. And that's what makes the knife. And that's what makes the package. Anything, other outside of that is, do you want it in this color or this color? It's secondary to what the knife is, and and the quality, because it seems to me that we have, I'm seeing more and more people that are making knives, but really the quality that I see in some of those aren't there. That as somebody that does the backside of getting a sheet or whatever for somebody, the quality comes in the knife, the attention to detail, um, the things that make it a great knife. And and again, Scott, you do fantastic with that. You really have your finger on the pulse of what makes a good knife, what makes a quality item.
Thank you.
And there's very much attention to detail. There's a pride in workmanship that you do. So that to me is I like working with people like that, as opposed to some of the things that I've seen in the past.
Well, thank you very much. I think next year will be very interesting because I have a feeling you're going to be seeing a lot of a lot more of my work headed your way.
I hope so. I hope I see a lot more of your designs in your blades. I think they're, like I said, when you first came out with the bloom, that was the one for me. I was like, oh my god, that is such a sweet knife. I mean, that checks every box of everything that I want to see in a knife, and then you just keep hitting it out of the park after that. It's just like one after another. Part of me is like, he needs to stop because he's making so many great knives.
Yeah,
It's consistent. And again, and I've held your knives. This is not just
Well,
I've held your knives. I mean, it's quality stuff. I mean, it really is. And the value. I mean, this is not something that's a knife that you get and 6 months later you're on to the next whatever. Your knives are those you keep them. I mean, you get them, you keep them, you hang on to them for forever. The quality. I mean, that's
Yeah.
quality. And you
I
just don't see that a lot of that.
I see that. It was funny, like I guess a couple months ago or beginning of this year, someone had reached out to me and were like, "Hey, did you know there's a couple of your knives on eBay?" And I was like, "I didn't know that." So I looked it up, and I guess they were hard up for some money, and they had 3 or 4 of my blades, and they had put them up on eBay for sale. And I don't know what happened to those, but and my wife was like, "Look, if once they buy your knife, it's up to them what they do with it. You can't stop them
Right.
from trying to sell it or whatever." But a lot of people have said they're heirloom items, etc. They're going to pass them down, which means a lot to me. That it does mean a lot. It means a lot. They all have their own little story, their own little thing I remember about each one of the blades that I make, whether I remember I did them or not. It gets to be a
Yeah.
lot.
I,
But
I think you probably, there's something that I would think, as talking to as many knife makers as I have, there's probably something there that it's a sense of pride doing what you do. Number one, but whenever um, I know from my standpoint, seeing stuff and seeing people that have done what you're talking about. You're not eBay, but you're just kind of you want to make sure the baby goes to the right home.
yeah,
And you're kind of like, I just want to make sure they're going to care for it. But yeah, it's at the end of the
it
day,
is. It is.
there's
But
something
I want people to use them,
Mhm.
but I don't want them to get damaged either.
Right.
If they are, there's a little piece of me in each one of them. But yeah,
Right.
well, thank you very much for that. So that's awesome. Yeah, Adventure 50. This is Sean with Three Feather. He made all those ones that Rory did. A couple other people. Robert Feely, I think, has one. Or is it Michael McCoy? One of the two has one with their knives. But yeah, a couple of them have the bloom and their custom bloom and their production bloom fit in it as well, which I already knew would happen, but because they're close, they're very, very close. Urban Woodsman's carry today was the Bloom Harpoon, Attack Knives, Intruder, the Urban Woodsman Green Hank, and the EMP EDC Pulse. That's a great carry, my friend. Bluminati, what's going on? Yes, the Raptor will haunt me forever, Bluminati. The Raptor. Did you see that one, Sean?
Yeah, I did see
The
that
big
one.
Hawkbill one that I
did
did.
see that. Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, Bluminati has that one. That was for Bluminati. But yeah, Blue. That one haunts me. And now you want something else. It's your trajectory. I want to see what Sean can do with the blue colors. I will be sending him my Aries Hawk with the blue Kieranite.
Actually, I don't know what they want to do, but something like my personal carry, actually have it out on the desk because I just kind of finished it today. I got I might have posted it, I got the Bradford Guardian.
Yeah, I saw that.
Awesome. And yeah, so this is the blue I did with that to kind of match it.
That will look good with his knife, actually.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. But I do. And again, these are my preference kind of things. It's kind of like the Rory. This is the color he liked. Was the coffee kind of color. Well, it matches the book, but
there you go.
I ordered some micarta scales for this one.
Yeah.
And they're thicker than the standard scales. So some of this stuff, it's a little bit. Well, these are from a company that produces their own. Look how you can see how
those are
thick
nice
that is.
Yeah, that's beefy.
Yeah, so it's a little bit thicker. So then you kind of have to adjust. But yeah, no, it's so color preference and design and stuff like that. It's not something where we stamp out a bunch of a bunch of stuff. I mean, each one is custom. And it's really custom because you might get I have a Spyderco mule that came in the other day, and that's a great example of a knife that's, people build handles for those. They may be thick, they may be thin, they may be, you don't know until you get it. So.
Yeah, and I think people forget that changes the carry of the blade. When you get something like a custom sheath, that it's specifically when you do the sheaths, you're wet forming it to that specific handle. And when you change that handle, if you're going thicker, it might work. But if you're going thinner, it's going to be even too thick is going to be really tight coming in and out of there. And it might not match up properly. So yeah, it's tough. Thank you, Urban. Yeah. I really appreciate that. That's it. He wants that blue one that you just held up.
What, this one for the?
So he has a hawk, which is what this is. So he has a hawk, but it's with this blue pearl kieranite so it's bright and shiny stuff. So he's.
Yeah. And what's funny about that is, and we're speaking about knives and stuff like that, and knives fitting, is Staza 23 did a review, and he did a review on, it was the mini harpoon, but he put the Kaiser, because I have like 4 of these to get out tonight, the Kaiser Phasmins in there, and it's like it fits and this and that. Well, but it's not designed for that. And so my daughters were like, Daddy, that's not that. And I'm like, it's okay. And he's like, we need to send him one that fits that. So they sent him one, and they actually sent him one of his colors. And they said, well, his logos are blue and black. Let's do that. So they did that and sent it to him. But the point of me telling you this is that, yeah, these colors can work. The color, that could be, you can do color-wise kind of whatever you want, but specifically to a specific knife. And that's what makes it great. And if you watch kind of the reviews, I mean, he did some, Javon did some, but if you watch it, you feel like you hear it click. And I think you said that too, when you held it upside down and it didn't drop out. Yeah. And it's a safety thing, number one, but it's specifically designed for that knife. And it's, and your knives will be here long after my sheets are gone. They're just, like you said, that's an heirloom thing.
Yeah. Like the ones you did for the bloom, it's not going anywhere. That's like snapped in like a Kydex sheath. It's just not going in anywhere. And I've put my custom in here as well, and it still fits the same. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to fall out. I'll carry it with the Scout Carry one, and that one like clips in, like there's retention, and it takes effort to pull it in and out, but it's safe, which is the most important thing for me. Is safety. It's not coming out, and that's like for me, even with the Kydex sheaths, they're not coming out.
And I felt rattle. I was going to say, you mentioned the rattle. I was going to say, is that people have sent me your knives that you've done, and I see, you can get sheaths, Kydex sheaths, and I think the Kydex. I'm not a fan personally of Kydex in general, but I will say that whenever I get, the first time I got one of yours with the Kydex in there, I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. So I think people, when they think Kydex, they think, oh, it's a Kydex sheath, but there are really good Kydex sheaths. And I don't know who you use for Kydex, but your Kydex that I've seen, as far as like making the Kydex itself. I mean, you make the Kydex?
Oh no, the actual material Kydex?
Yeah, the material.
Oh no, yeah. Knifekits.com.
I don't know who you use material wise, but that Kydex is quality Kydex, and then you look at the sheath itself, and it's like there's somebody that takes pride in what they do. And I know you make your own sheaths, and you told me I'll always make my own. And I understand why. This is not like cheap Kydex that you take and fold together. This is like quality stuff. I mean, this is honestly, And some of these I looked at and going, because we see the knives that come in that are just the cheap Kydex kind of that don't really click. I think I may have, yeah. So some of the knives that come in, like something like this, is I just pull this out of my drawer. This is doesn't click. It just kind of thin, minimal kind of
Yeah.
Kydex, and then you look at yours and it's a thicker Kydex. It forms, it fits. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
I hate doing Kydex sheaths. No, I don't. It's not hate. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it's part of the knife. But it's
right.
one of the most nitpicky things. Very early on, that was the one thing that somebody picked on me really bad about was, oh, it's rattling too much,
Right.
but it wasn't falling out, which means more to me. It's safe. It's not going to come out. It might have a little rattle in there, but it's very difficult to do a Kydex sheath without any rattle whatsoever.
Yours are. So, I worked for the state of Texas. I did law enforcement 30 years ago. And so we carried Kydex, we carried a lot of things, and you can kind of tell from the quality, the thickness, and just some holsters and things like that. And yours are, I'm telling you, man, yours are right up there with some of the best I've seen.
They do take some practice, and you will throw away a lot of sheaths before you finally get it right.
Oh, I had to, yeah, no, they do. Yeah, I mean, Kydex wise, I'm sure, because there's leather that, oh my God, I've fit so much leather, and like, okay, it's gonna fit, and I measure everything and measure twice, cut once, and do it, and it comes out, and you can't get the knife in there, and you're just like, oh, for the love of God, and then you got to start over.
Yeah.
But one of the things I started doing, for me anyways, my eldest daughter, all the girls kind of help give their opinions. They are somewhat involved. But my oldest daughter said, Daddy, I don't want to start doing stuff with your scrap leather. So the more mistakes I make, like for me, I'm mad and I get upset, and I'm like, oh, I got to start over and do it again. And my oldest daughter's like, yeah, more material for me to start working on. Don't throw it away, Daddy.
They want to do it though. That's great.
I'm sorry.
That's great that they're interested in doing it though.
Yeah, it's art, and it's much better than trying to build knives. Probably, what you do. It's great that they want to do that. There's more, I think, flexibility on what they want to make. But but that being said, it's great that they've always been somewhat involved and somewhat have input on what colors we want to see, and like this, the styles of sheath that they did, that was all there. Of course, my design, me putting it together, me doing the stitching, but them going, these are the colors I like, and there's some of them that I'll do, and they're like, I don't know, and I'm like, it's really cool, and they're like, I don't know, Daddy, I don't know that works. So.
Rory, are you talking about this stuff? They call this the raptor skin. It's just a type of Kydex, but it almost looks like it's leather.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff. Yeah, but is that like that pebble kind of look to them?
Yeah, it's. Yeah, they call it raptor skin, but it has that kind of leather. Yeah, that's what I did for his Cardinal XL. One of Rory's knives, but
that's a beautiful knife, by the way. I saw that. He posted that. That's a beautiful knife.
That was a collaboration between me and a custom knife maker, Corey Hawley.
Halloway. Yeah, I saw that.
He's in the Tampa area, and he did the grinds on that knife. I did. It's my pattern. He did that nightmare grind on it with all the different grind. He's ridiculous what he's. Oh, actually, I have one of his blades here. What did I do with it? So he loves his nightmare grinds. So he does all of his hollow grinds and everything else. This is one of his.
That's yeah. I actually did a sheath for Rory with that kind of grind on it.
Yeah, that was the
And
Cardinal. The Cardinal XL has that
oh,
kind of grind on it.
beautiful knife.
So he did that.
Beautiful.
I did the handle work, but he's starting his own knife company out of Tampa. He's going to start basically producing these things. But yeah, this is called the Jackal, and different colored G10s, and he's going to do a couple different blade shapes. But yeah, his talent with the grinds and finishes and everything else are just really more to come on this. He's still putting some things together. So
Yeah, no, I saw the one that Rory sent. I think Rory sent me one of those that grind on there, and I mean, I see a lot of knives. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
what
God,
he
that is
does.
just beautiful.
He does that. He
Beautiful.
does that on all of his stuff. He does those triple grinds, and some people love it. Some people don't. I can see the talent in it because I know
Yeah.
how hard it is, and I can't do it. So
Right.
he
Yeah.
can do it. What's up, Dylan Mallory? What's going on? Is Corey going to use your sheaths, Sean? I don't think so. Rory, I gotta connect you two though. That would be awesome if he could outsource some sheath work to you, because I know he's doing Kydex. But if he can outsource some leather, he does his own leather work though too. So I don't know.
You know, I don't, I honestly, so some of the things that I do, is like, even there's that Tandy, that we had talked about that was next to the Bagel King. They're actually moving, and their opening is they want me to come by and teach a class on
That's
kind of the
awesome.
stuff. And they said, well, what do you charge? And I'm like, what do you mean charge? I'm not charging anything to anybody that wants to learn that. That's kind of, it's kind of what you
That's worth
do
it.
with the knife thing is you build the knives. That's one of the things that drew me to this. It's an all-inclusive community. Everybody does something different. Everybody has their own style, their own unique thing. So I don't, you know, if he does his own sheets, then good, you know, great. I'd like to see what other people
Yeah.
do, and I'm happy to pass along whatever knowledge I have, to people doing that. I think that's great. I'd like to come by and see the process, and
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
he is hoping to basically run a little production company. He's basically
right.
not he's going from just doing customs to doing as many customs as he can to full blown production, starting a website, order off the website, always having knives available on the
Yeah, I mean,
website.
yeah, I remember you and I talked about him doing that. That's a scary move.
So
But
yeah,
I think that's a testament to what he does, is that he believes um, in what he does and his commitment to doing that, and the pride in his work, to say this is, you know, this is not, you know, that's a serious knife maker, sheath maker, somebody that says, you know what, I believe in what I'm doing that much.
yeah.
And there's a sense of pride in that, but there's also a sense of quality. There's a sense of ownership on whatever comes
Yeah.
out that door. So I think that's fantastic.
It's so he is terrified. He's been working on it for months to try to get everything aligned. I have that knife that I'm going to be doing a review. I'm also, once he's ready to go and he has like the website all set up and everything else, I'm going to be putting that into a pass around group, hopefully, and get the word out about what he does. So hopefully we'll get the word out and do that. When are you going to have the knife and sheath combos for sale? I don't remember the first knife you showed on your socials. What do you mean, Rory? When he's gonna?
Oh, so he's talking about so the well, so one of the things we're going to do, one of the things I'm going to start doing is like this one, and then the Azula, and start doing like knife sheath combo things. But one of the things that we partnered up with Picaroon Tools, and Picaroon Tools makes a here it is. That's because we had family photos today, so I was saying it's on my desk because I carried this today. Is the Pickering Tools has the jack jar, and this
cool.
is the knife.
Fun.
It's kind of piratey looking, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the sheath that I did for it was this. This is kind of my thing. So Pavel Kushkachev is the person he makes these, and these are in they are in micarta in 14 CRN, I think it is. But these are the Magna Cut is the thing, but the micarta on it that he's doing is one of the things that he's doing is a blue jean denim micarta, and that is going to be a exclusive with us. Is that he won't even sell it. You'll have to come to Three Feather EDC to get it.
That's cool.
It's basically a 3-finger kind of knife, but it's kind of a cutlass looking.
It is.
But it's the reason I love this is because I can put my thumb at the back of it and cut, but I can also put detail work, finger kind of stuff on it. And these things are razor sharp. So because it is shipping overseas from Bulgaria, so I already make the sheets for these knives. I already make them, and you can maybe hear the kind of that click noise that we were talking about. These don't come out. These are, and so I'm going to make it obviously without the skull and crossbones. This was my personal
That's awesome.
pirate design thing. But yeah, so we're looking at releasing those in November. Trying to get, and so everything was kind of a delay getting in because of the shutdown. Even though customs and the mail service aren't affected by that, but they do have support staff, and the support staff is on furlough, so that means that things are taking longer. I have seen it with me shipping things priority mail. It's supposed to be 3 days. It's taking 4 or 5 days. So right now I'm looking at probably mid-November, late November, because what I want to do is finish up these two for the Azula and for the Bradford Guardian, and selling these as combos. Like this will be a combo for the blue with the blue. That handle, there's that one that I do that I think I sent you. That was that one you showed. Was the orange kind of looking sunset type thing. Bradford, yes, that one. So Bradford makes a knife they call it Tiger Stripe, that matches that perfectly, and that's this type of handle, but it's in the orange and black. So I think that two together would go. So those are going to be the things that we're doing with that kind of knife sheath combo. I'm going to be selling the Picaroon tools. I'll be selling it natural micarta, and it's also green with the sheath. And I think you can see the green. It's an olive drab that matches the handle.
Are they sending you knives that you're going to be selling? So they're sending you the knives, and
they're sending the knives. It's going to be, and those are the ones that are going to be Magna Cut. You can buy in any of these. You can buy the knife yourself if you want. The value comes in getting the knife and sheath together, because it's at a like if you went and bought the knife itself, you buy the knife and then, hey, I want to order a sheath. But getting the combo is kind of a unique thing, because you can get the knife that in the sheath that matches it for a reduced cost, as opposed to just buying. If you went on your own and bought the knife and then, hey, I want a sheath made for this,
that's cool.
We're talking, whatever it is for the knife, and then the sheath.
You're partnering with them to do that.
Yeah, I'm partnering with them, but that's also with Bradford. That's also with Essie. I've actually talked to people at Essie.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually reached out to me and said, hey, what do you think about? So it's kind of that. And then I had the micarta handles are made by a company, and they reached out to me. They have these machined, but they're primarily finding out later they're kind of more a reseller than they are a maker. So,
Yeah.
but in any event, yeah. So that's what we're doing as far as like matchy stuff, is kind of that. So I'll be doing this one for sure. Because I carry this. Like I said, I just finished this up today and I love it. So I'll be doing this, but then I'll be doing a couple of other colors that match the handles for the Azua as well. And then we'll be launching the Jack Tar, the Picaroon Tools Jack Tar. So we'll be doing the Jack Tar probably, I think, because of what's been going on with customs and that. I think we're looking at probably end of the month, maybe sooner. But that's going to be, that's the big knife collab is this one. And like I say, if you try to go through Picaroon Tools to get it, they're just going to refer you back to Three Feathers. So.
Well, yes. That's cool, man, that you're able to do that. That's going to be a pretty awesome collaboration, that's for sure. I'm going to share. Have you seen the new production models that are coming out, that I have coming out? I'll share with you. I'm going to share. I shared this last week, but I'm going to share this again.
I'm watching like everything you do. And
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you do, I mean, it's not me hitting the like button. It's just kind of like with me when I look at the stuff you do, and I'm like, he's got to stop. I'm gonna be broke. Yeah. You do. God, look at that.
So this is the Kubi Thorn.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Kubi, and that's one that I'm hoping by the end of the year that will be available. That they're still getting done. They're still working on the grinds, as far as I know. And then the picture of the rock copper. So anybody who just coming in, Kubi shared a picture of the rock copper, so I'm going to share that. But
yeah, I want to see that. You know, that's what I want to see.
So my rock copper,
okay.
My rock copper looks like that. It kind of has this rounded handle. And it kind of has that kind of Warncliffe kind of sheep's foot kind of style blade to it. That's my rock copper. Or I have rock coppers I'm working on right now that are getting ready to be ground, but that's kind of the rock copper shape. So that's little 3-finger, put a lanyard on it. Your thumb gets right there, but 3-finger. So I did it with Kubi. They were like, cool, let's do it. Now what I'm going to share with you guys is rough. It's a rough picture. It hasn't been ground, the bevel's in it. It just gives you guys what the overall shape is going to be. And it has some other information on it that I think you guys will be interested in. So here it is. That's going to be the rock hopper.
Oh, wow.
So it's a little bit different shape as far as the handle goes, and it's going to blade it'll have a full edge at the bottom of the blade where I have a little sharpening choil. That will be a full grind. And if you guys are paying attention, we're at 62 HRC up here, so that is awesome. That is what the rock hopper is going to be looking like, guys. So if you have a little vision and you can vision it in your head, that's what the rock hopper is going to look like as far as the handle goes. So there it is.
That's and I got to say this, man, is that I see a lot of I'll see a lot of knives, and I mean I do see a lot of knives and hold a lot of knives, and they start going after kind of a specific, this is the hot thing this week kind of thing, and I'm not disparaging anybody, but this kind of, this is it this week, and this is this. I mean, you have the standards, the SC, you have the standards, the Bradford, you have the standard, whatever. I mean, here's this is the Kaiser. That looks a lot like, the drop bear that looks amazingly similar to the Nafslander. So I see a lot of these. Your designs are very unique and very
Yeah.
not. I mean, again, there's pride in what you do. There's your knives are not like anything that you can really. Um, I look at knives
What's
and I'm
up,
like, okay,
Blue?
I can live with this. I don't like this, and I can live with that because it has that. Your knives have none of that. Your knives are just like I mean, I feel guilty sometimes. Like I said, when people reach out and go, "Hey, can you build a sheath for this?" And I'm like, "Why?" It's a great knife. Why would you want to
Yeah.
mess that up?
Well,
It's just fantastic,
I
man.
it's funny you say that because I feel like what I do is just very simple.
Oh,
And I talk to other makers, and they're like, you know what would make yours better if you did a swedge, or if you did this, or if you did that. And I'm just kind of like, as a maker, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a maker thing.
yeah,
For me, I that KISS method of just keep it simple,
yeah. Keep it
stupid,
so
and
stupid. Yeah,
yeah, and it's just like I'm very simple. The designs kind of just take care of themselves. I don't have to go crazy with them.
hmm
And then if I can get a production company to sign up and say, yeah, I would love to do that, that would be cool. But I am playing with like different file work and stuff. Like recently I did this, my glow in the dark micro. Um,
yeah,
the blue glows in the dark, but
yeah.
I
But
did
you
the
look at that compared to this. I mean, hold yours up and then look at this. I mean, you see the difference in not only. I mean, just take away the blade steel. Look at the function of yours. Look at the straight edge on yours versus the curved edge on this. I mean, there are some details that are similar.
yeah,
And so what you do is it seems like to me a lot of the styles, the things that you do to make it functional, to make it a great knife, is that some people kind of, you know, put their own spin on it or make it
yeah.
different. I mean, to me, your knives are great the way they are.
Uh,
I mean, they're perfect the way they are to me.
so
And again, that's what kind of led me to you. So
well,
because I'm like that's that I and as a sheath maker, I guess I could see the difference. But holding knives is like this is it's okay. This is like yeah, these are great.
yeah, yeah, and it's funny. Hold up that Kaiser again,
Yeah,
because for me, if you're going to put something on a knife, it needs to be useful.
right.
But they
Yeah,
put
remember you told me
they
that.
put they
Yeah,
put those little indentions. I don't know what else you
yeah,
would call that in the steel on the blade. Which
yeah.
normally, if it was a folder,
Mhm.
you would use like on, let's say, these little things right here.
Mhm.
So on a folder, I'm using that to help flick the knife out, right?
Mhm.
On that fixed blade that you just held up, it has the little cutouts on the steel. But what do you use? That's just specifically for a look. There's no
Yeah,
function
it's
to it.
totally aesthetics.
It's,
Yeah,
it's a total
yeah,
aesthetic
because this
thing.
is yeah. This is
And
what do you do?
but you're not like, you can add the jimping and you can add all those things because that's useful. But
Right.
I laugh when companies do the fixed blades and they add that little. I understand maybe putting a hole in the fixed blade for a look, and maybe you're gripping it, and maybe that's what that's for. You can grip it better there. It's funny to me to look at that.
Yeah.
Urban Woodsman wanted me to ask what you thought of the Wesser. I'm working on this. This is his design that I've been
Mhm.
making, and
Mhm.
he was like, "What do you think of that?" I
Honest.
decided I did it because it's kind of fits in with my little wheelhouse of a nice little three finger,
Mhm.
3.5 little fixed blade that can be done. So that's his
I
design, though.
Yeah, no, I like those, and again, this is like something like this, the Jack Tar, and people look at that and they're like, well, I mean, there's some similarity there, I guess, but when you look at the knife and you look at what you have to have the user, and just my opinion, the owners, what are they going to be using it? And so something like this, where you have a thumb, yeah, I mean, it's a cutlass, and you're like, oh, that's kind. It's not an. I mean, they're making it in MagnaCut, so it's not like a fad. They're making it so you have a thumb point and hold that. If you want to hold that knife back up like you just did, hold that knife back up, and what you just did with your finger on the end of that blade for detail work. That, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's, I think it's look, there are some things that are going to be um, the standard like this. The Azula is a great example of that. It's
Yeah.
a standard kind of blade. It's what you do. It's what you have. And even the Guardian are going to be, that's, they have the jimping on the back, and but they're really two different knives. This to me is more like, one is more like camping outdoorsy. This one's more like detailed everyday kind of carry.
Yeah.
There's always something kind of different.
Yep.
So to me, what I look at is that these are knives that I can actually use. What is, and again, this one, yeah, great. This is the Kaiser. It's got jimping on the back. It's got jimping on the front, so you can use it. So my issue with this is that, what kind of steel are you using? Are you using a soft steel for a knife that's meant for hard use? Because this isn't going to cut it. You look at, like this and some of the aesthetics they do with the Fasmans, and they're great, but there's there needs to be more, I think, and this is my opinion, and please, people, don't get mad. There needs to be more consistency, because one little differentiation, one little thing change affects the quality of the knife. It affects um, the carry of the knife, and what are you using it for? And
Yeah.
if that fits for you, if you're somebody like, this is a three finger, this is a great three finger knife. It's right there, small. That's what I want. I can put my thumb behind it. I can put my finger on the front to get what I want, the detail work. That's what I carry. That's what I use. Something like this is a generic kind of, okay, it's great, and yeah, I can get my thumb behind it, but what about, how am I going to do any kind of, detail work, especially when the blade is curved? Like yours is straight, dude. And, if you're going to do something straight, that's the whole point. You're doing something straight with that blade, and I have to deal with the curve now, and I get it. I understand it. You're not everybody can afford a $400 or $500 knife. Not everybody can. What I try to do is that whatever knife you get, I'll try to make something that I want people to carry forever.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with knives. Is you want to build something that's a great knife that people will carry and pass down as an heirloom.
And for me, what's up, Paul and Greg V? For me, with my designs and everything else, I want them designed for EDC. They're not really meant for hard use or anything else. They can be. They're not. They're definitely not bushcrafting. They're not hunting. They're not camp. They can be used for all those things. But like the bloom is not what I designed the bloom for. I designed it for just an EDC little tool that you could use. Listen, I use these on a daily basis to open bags of salt, boxes, other bags of chemicals and things that I do on my daily work. And, I don't have immense things that I need to cut. If you needed something a little bit bigger on your daily,
I'm going to show you. Go ahead, because I'm gonna grab something real quick. But go ahead. Say what you were saying.
When I'm designing a knife, like you said, what's the purpose? My purpose of all of my knives is just EDC, just to have that little cutting tool that's easy to carry, can just put on the belt or in the pocket, and you forget about it, but it's there when you need it. So, yeah, the Wester is cool, Rory. I like the Wester. And just so you guys know here, I have the 2 rock hoppers and AEB-L. There's 2 of these. I did a pedal this morning. I got this one all cut out and shaped and ready for bevels. So all of those are, and then I already showed you guys the Wesser. They're all in AEB-L. So this is the next group of stainless that I'm working on. The Torcido, the Tobico, the Wesser, and the Spike in LMAX. They are all sent out for heat treat. The pedal, which the video drops on those tomorrow. This is a pedal, this pattern is smaller than the bloom. So it's actually smaller than the bloom. It's going to be basically a neck knife for the person getting it. We're going to have some fun colors. And that person is in the chat. So there you go. You already received your picture today. But you already got your picture. And then what's Sean current go-to EDC fixie right now? Hold on, Urban. We'll answer that question in a second.
Right.
And then
I kind of want to go back to what you were saying, if I can, Scott.
Yeah, go for it.
Is it so this knife, thin knife, great little knife, lightweight. I mean, I don't know how many ounces it is. This knife is not the same as the Bradford Guardian. The Bradford Guardian is not the same as the SC Azula. The SC Azula is not the same as the Azula 2. Yeah. They all have like you were saying, this is more of a camping, outdoor, beat the hell out of kind of knife. This is what this is. And yes, you can do that with the Guardian. Absolutely you can do it with the Guardian. This is another popular fixed blade, is the
Kaiser
mini harpoon. Yeah, great knife too. Is this a great knife? Yes. Can you carry it every day? Yes. Can you beat the hell out of this? I probably would. Another Kaiser knife, the Deckhand, is a great knife. It's a flat, open. So if you look at all of these knives, can you do something that you want to carry them for? Yes. Are they all good knives? Yes. What's your purpose? What are you trying to do? So it's going to be specific to you, what you're carrying it for, what you want to do. Because even the Azula and the Azula 2 are 2 different. I mean, they're the same exact blade. One's got a smaller handle. It's more EDC friendly. The Azula 2 is a full handle. This is more outdoorsy camping, beating the heck out of something kind of knife. So what do you want to do with your knife? That's the main thing.
But it is also very personal to that person, though.
Absolutely.
Because I have people, and they're in the chat, that would EDC this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it, or they EDC something like that.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because people, the comments are funny in a lot of my videos, because people are, if I post a picture of something like this and I'm like, yeah, it's roughly 3.5, and they're like, oh no, if it's not 4 fingers, I'm not carrying it. And then I'm like, okay,
then don't carry it.
Then to each his own. That's fine.
Yeah.
I get it. Some people really, they have bigger hands than me, and they really like a full fingered. It's not. It's not a hard use knife either, though. So let me get caught up in chat real quick.
I'm getting another one.
What kind of steel do you like for your? What kind of steel does he like for leather work? Now, that's a good question for you.
But yeah, no, I carry
77. Hello. How do I get in touch with someone to make a run for me? Okay, I don't know what they're talking about. Okay. I'm always proud to carry my Cardinal XL and my Bloom Harpoon. Thanks, Adventure 50. Those 2 came out awesome. I'm glad you're happy with that Cardinal XL you just got. That thing came
That's
out.
great. That's God, it's such a great knife.
He got
Every time I see
Adventure.
your knives, I'm like, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm like, God, dude, you got to stop.
He got
They're so
the
they're great. I'm like, I think that's one of the best knives I've ever seen. And then you drop another one. I'm like, damn it, stop.
he
It's
did
just so
Adventure
good.
50 got the fat carbon, that purple camo fat carbon one. So that's the one he just got. Sean, you need to check out Aries pistol he made me. I had him put jimping behind the harpoon, and I love it. So that you probably saw it was the blue jute micarta handled larger blade. That was the pattern.
Yes, I did see that. Yes, no, I did. I think that's one of the things. So I think you came out with like a mini version of that in like blue and yellow, I think.
That was Adventure 50s. That's the Bloom harpoon.
Yeah, you came out with the Bloom harpoon, and that was, gosh, man, that was like over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know, but I saw that, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy, that was one of the first knives that I saw that you did that I was just like, I love. There are knives that I see that are like, so the mini harpoon, great example. I love the knife. It's a great EDC knife. The one thing I don't like about it is this right up here at the edge. So if you're using this and your finger slips, you're going to cut to the end of your finger. There's no thing there. So then you have the Guardian, which kind of has a little bit of a buffer, but you can still slip your finger. So then they came out with the, what is it, the 3.2, I think, which is a ½ inch longer. And now it's like, well, it's longer than what I want to carry. So I don't know. There are honestly a couple of knives personally, and believe it or not, this one, the Kaiser Hair, is a great. It's bigger though. It's a little bit bigger. I mean, it's a full size kind of knife. This is probably one of the more comfortable ones that I've felt. If you're looking for like a $40-50 knife, it's in I forget what steel it's in, but it's a great. I don't remember if it's not. Scott, do you know what steel it's in?
What? Which one?
The Kaiser Hair. It's a Nitro V. So they make this in a Nitro V, which is a little bit. I mean, it's got jimping at the back, jimping at the front, so it's a thick thing. So I like this knife because it's not thick.
Yeah.
In anything, honestly, and I'm not just saying this, in anything Scott produces, and the knives that I've held in my hand, and again, I'm going kind of back to my law enforcement background is they buy the fads and Glock this or Sig Sauer or Colt or whatever. And I always told people, because I got trained in SWAT, and it's like, hey, whatever feels comfortable in your hand, that's what you go with. If it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't matter. And honestly, this is probably one of the more comfortable knives that I've felt. The Guardian is another one that I like this. I like the grip. I like the checkering. And that being said, the knives that Scott has produced, anything I felt on my hand, it's like, oh my God. Why it kind of makes me question is that why don't they make knives that are more like that?
And it's so hard, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but
no,
I mean, my knife, and I've shared, and I share everything with everybody. I do all my videos, and I've done my lives. And when you're getting one of my knives, I shape that handle by hand. and I, at the end of the day, I want it to feel good in my hand, so I'm hoping it feels good in the buyer's hand. And at the end of the day, if it's a knife that you enjoy to carry and to cut with, you're going to carry it over something else. But with the production, like my Bloom, I I wanted it different. I didn't want it the same as everything. So I shadow boxed the scales a little bit, but it's still comfortable in the hand. And I don't know, but obviously my customs are very different than everything else.
Yeah, but I mean, the difference if you've ever held a knife. So this is one I got from a customer. It's a Spyderco Mule, and they make, I don't know how many different variations of, handles for it. But the thing is that how does it feel in your hand? And that's kind of the start. And I think, Scott, I've told you that it's all, you can make the most beautiful knife ever. If it doesn't feel right, I mean, the scales are, and I know I've told you this, the scales make the knife. The handles make the knife. Because if you go, oh, that's pretty, and then you hold it and it feels like crap, you're like, okay, yeah, it's a pretty knife. You're done.
Yeah.
And like, so some like these, this, to me, this is one of the better feeling knives that I've held. But these are scales you may, I mean, for those of you who don't know, the mule is basically the knife itself, and then you add your handles or have somebody add the handles or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that whoever did those are great. And then, this to me is great. The Azula and the Azula 2 that I have, they're great, and they feel completely different, even though they're the same blade length. One's got a longer handle, and you get more purchase on this. This one's a little bit shorter handle, and it's a little bit thicker, and it just feels it's just whatever your preference is, honestly.
Yeah.
And I haven't come across anything. I haven't come across anything that was anything from AriesEDC that I'm like, man, okay. I mean, everything I'm like is like, oh my god, it feels so good. It really does feel so good.
I really pride myself on trying to make it feel good.
Oh.
It's I want the user to want to use it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Jim Miller. Jim, I'm going to share that picture. I hope you don't mind, but his collection of let's see. So that's the bottom is his Bloom harpoon, which has the that blue Gicarda. I can't zoom in. Sorry, I can't zoom in on this. But the thorn is the blue at the bottom blue one is a thorn. Then the rock hopper, the hawk, and then the micro, which is at the top. He just got that micro. But the Bloom harpoon, I think that was the first one. So yeah, came out pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. The spine of the Wesser is very well thought. Oh, Trouble Bunny asked, have you ever designed any of your own leatherworking knives?
No. Great question. No. So I'm kind of experimental on what I want to do and what I want to make. And that's kind of the reason. Everybody has their standard go-to, and I've talked to a lot of people. So like this is the basics of a sheath that I'm doing now for someone. I've talked to a lot of people, and you don't know what you don't know. So that being said, when there are people like, well, you're not supposed to do this, you need to do this, this, this. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that, and I wasn't aware. So it's allowed me the capacity to somewhat experiment on different things and get out of the traditional, which I enjoy. I can totally do. I think when I was first here, you could totally do the Western look and do that. And if that's what you want, that's great. That's not what I do. That's what I do is primarily I try to make sheaths like this for a knife that's, $60-70 that somebody can feel comfortable about carrying their every day. And again, you hear that click with the leather, something that somebody can carry every day. And somebody, because we can't all afford, $150 knife and a $300 sheath. We can't. So I try to do what works for me. And that being said, I don't know that I want to buy into having my own anything. I don't. I still.
Well, Trouble Bunny works with leather, so that's probably why she was asking.
No, and that's. I mean, for what I do. No, I saw that, and I've actually seen her page. She sent you some other stuff with your logo on it. That was amazing.
Yeah.
She said, didn't she send you some other things with your logo on it outside of that?
I have it over here, like leather. She made me these leather patches.
Right.
With
I saw
the
that.
logo on it.
Yeah. No, I saw those, and those are fantastic. Yep, those are the ones I saw, and I saw those, and so I look at what she did in with that, and I'm like, and again, it's all. That's what I was telling you about the knife maker in Tampa that does his own leather. I want to see what they do, and so I don't. And I think when I was on your show last time, somebody, I think Leather 1931, whomever, asked, where do you get your clips? I'm trying to get these for a year and a half, and nobody. And you were like, I don't know if they want to tell you. I'm like, no, it's Neil Green at Double X Knives. I mean, Taylor by Cortez uses them. Dylan uses them. Neil's a friend of mine. No, go there, buy them, support him. It's not competitive with me at all. In fact, I ran out of. What's funny is I ran out. I got a slew of orders in, and I reached out to Neil and I'm like, hey man, I need to get clips. And he's like, well, we're sold. And I saw your website, you're sold out. And he's like, well, how many do you need? And I said, just to get through this batch of orders that came through, probably 50, 60. And he's like, okay. He said, we'll have some more in next week. And then a few days later, he sent me a picture and I'm like, okay. He sent me a picture of a label and I'm like, I don't know what that is. And then like 3-4 days later, he sent me, and I'm going to see if I can find it. But he sent me a bunch of clips from his personal stash.
That's awesome.
And here it is. And it says, extra. Thanks, Neil. And so he not only sent me stuff from his personal stash, but he's like, here's some extra. I'm like, hey, I'll pay you whatever. And he's like, here's some extra. Here you go. So I'm grateful that I have a good reputation with a lot of builders and people that we work with.
And it's the same in the knife community. I mean,
exactly.
We're all here
that's what I love.
to help. If you get stuck on something, they're always there to help you to try to get through it or to fix whatever issues you have. If you're open to criticism, then you could do that. There's some people out there making knives right now, and they're sending their knives to other content creators, and those content creators are reaching out to me, and they're like, hey, we've handled one of your knives, and these people are sending me their knife, and I have some concerns. And I'm like, well, if they're open to criticism, then that'll help them grow. But if they're not open to criticism, then you think I haven't been criticized? I've been criticized, but I'm also like, I try to do my best with what I do. I mean, I'm criticized all the time with just the equipment that I use to produce what I'm making. Because for the longest time, I was only using a 1x30. And then they were like, wait, you're producing this on a 1x30? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's all I have. I'm just in my little tiny garage. I don't have a big shop or anything. And still to this day, I have I have these old school makers that look at my stuff, and it's like, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And it's like, well, okay,
I'm not.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I'm
No,
okay. I'm okay saying that because I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's your style.
Yeah.
That's not my style. That's not what I do.
Right.
Like,
So
I did this filing on my
oh,
file work
look
on
at
the
that.
micro.
I've seen that, and I've seen like the stars that they do on the stars, and
Yeah, and like they do
yeah.
all the fancy.
That,
I'm actually not a big fan of file work. I'm just not. But that was kind of more functional because it's also jimping, but it looks kind of fun too.
I think the difference, though, Scott, is that you know, there's things that there may be things, and this is what I've noticed with you and why I've stayed in contact with you, is there are things where you might go, I mean, I don't understand it, I'll do it, and you know, and it works out, and it's like, well, actually, I see the point now. You're willing to explore other things that you can do. And the other thing is that, yeah, you may have criticism. I get it too. And my thing, when somebody says, well, you need to do this, this, and this, I actually had somebody that, you know, wanted to place an order and do a custom. And they actually live in my hometown. They hit me up through the website. And I'm like, oh my God. And I said, you live here? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, I live like 5 minutes from you. I know exactly. I'm like, oh, okay, but I want this. And I'm like, that's not what I do. I can't help you, but here's somebody that can. You're always going to get criticism.
Yeah.
And you're always going to get, you know, so Eddie Van Halen, he developed a kind of a pickup. If anybody knows anything about music, he developed kind of a pickup system in a guitar because he didn't have the money. He didn't have the money to do it. It was more out of a necessity. The people that make the best knives, the people that make the best sheets, are the people that are, I don't have this, I'm doing it out of necessity to do this. And that's where you see creation really, really blow up and start, you know, seeing stuff. So you have some people that you're going to have people that are in it and they're trying to do the business part of it. It's not, you know, I saw somebody that had, I mean, they used a leather, a laser machine to put a pattern in. And hey, all fairness, this was done by laser. I mean, this little thing here was done by laser. It's an engraver. That's an engraver. But they said everything is done 100% completely by hand. We do not use machines. And I'm like, then how'd you get that laser cutter imprint on on your sheet if you're not using any machine? Everything is hand stitched, and then you see the line where the machine has stamped it, and you're like, no, you're not. So whatever. You can't do. So I would tell her, do your thing. Get as creative as you can get. Do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, it's your product. It's what you're putting out. If we did everything the same way that it's been done for God knows how long, I'd be doing shearing and carving. I'd be doing sheaths. I wouldn't be any marbling. Scott, you would be building the same drop point blade that's been out there for, I mean, no. So we have to, they don't like, you know, some people don't like it when we as creators change the narrative to where we have, I mean, oh, they're going to have to change this. If they want to keep up and they want to see better product, then, you know, look at AriesEDC, look at the knife that they just built. Holy crap. That's going to, people are going to, you know, so that mindset of, they're coming from a mindset of what money are we going to lose, what people are going to do. You're looking at a mindset of the creativity part of it, the functionality part of it. That's where your focus is. It's not about the dollars. It's not about, you know, we can mass produce this. It's about the quality of the knife, the quality of the product, the purpose of what it's going to be used for. That's the difference. And if you want that, God bless you. There's nothing wrong with it. But if that's what you want, then, you know, go get one of those. But if you want something You know, an AriesEDC knife or a Bradford Guardian or whatever you want. If you want that, then go get that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's that. You know, that's kind of the difference.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and I totally agree, because this is a labor of love for me. This is
yeah, yeah.
an escape. It was I just I make knives that I want to carry, and I'm not a
But you
big
take.
fan
Mhm.
of I'm not a fan of big knives, because I like very
Right,
inconspicuous, easy to carry blades
right,
that I can carry on my
yeah,
belt. You've seen how I carry,
yeah,
and it disappears.
and
I never know it's there until I'm ready to use it. I and I'm just not a big fan of big knives that stick out, like Casey's knife. Kubi sent me this, and this is about as long as I really want to
yeah,
be.
I've seen those. I've seen those. Yeah,
And that it's a very slim, sleek knife, and that's
right.
what saves it for me. Because overall, it's a pretty long knife. But
Go
but
ahead.
I
I'm not cutting you off.
I'm not I'm not I'm not in mix of doing a lot of big cutting or anything. So I don't know. Blue. These were done by hand by Trouble Bunny. That was definitely hand done, because you can
Yeah,
see all the little
and I
divots
looked
and
and I'm
everything
like,
in there.
yeah, but I'll see something like this, and somebody. I mean, look, this is a full size. This is a Benchmade.
Yeah,
This actually came from Hawaii. And they're like, hey, can you make a pocket sheath for this? And I'm like, that's kind of big for a pocket sheath. I don't know what the total measurement on it is, but it's, you know, but to each their own. I mean, if that's how they want to carry it, then try to find my ruler. I mean, if that's how they want to carry it, great. But yeah, I'm like you. I like the smaller. I don't have a need for a big
and
knife.
that was my thing. It was like, I'm gonna start making these knives. I can't be the only person that's looking for just a
No.
smaller. Because my introduction to fixed blades was the CRKT minimalist, um,
Yes.
which is, I think, everybody's kind of little.
Yes.
And I was like, well, if this works for that, how come I can't do other things? And it just that's kind of what got me going with it.
Yes.
Was I have my minimalist, and
Yeah.
I've actually met Alan Foltz, and
Really.
it's a funny story, but
Tell it.
I've told it before. But hold on, I'll get it. I'll get mine. So I have mine. I and I have I took the sheath and I made it into a scout carry, like I like to carry on the front right hand draw.
Mhm.
And it's I don't really need, there you go. See, I don't really need anything too much bigger than that on a daily basis.
Mm.
And I carried the heck out of this thing, and
Yep.
it served its purpose, and that kind of
Yeah.
got me into designing my own and drawing my own stuff out. The bloom stemmed from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is
awesome. I like what you did with that one.
this is the minimalist. I mean, that's what it is. It's the Persian, but I got the Flytanium scales on it. But that's what started kind of me, is that, oh my god, I want a smaller, what you're talking about. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to point a knife at you, but that's kind of,
Hey,
I want something that's small. I don't need a knife that's, you know, a huge knife to, you know, I don't want that. I want a small. I'm not trying to announce my presence with authority. One of the other ones that I liked was the Civivi Elementum. I'm like, this is a good size knife. It's a folder though, and that's the thing, is that, it's a folder. I like the size of that. It's a great knife, but when you start dealing with the folder, you're dealing with internal parts, ball bearings, whatever, and that's, then you start, so then you have, um, some of the other knives that are out there. I mean, this is, you deal with like the phasmids, you deal with like You know, and even what's funny about the Phasmids, and then people what so, and I think Stas has said it on his website, is that, or his review, is that this, like when you get a Kydex sheath from um, not Aries, but you get a Kydex sheath from whomever that makes the Kydex sheath from, it comes with this little tech lock, which I hate.
Yeah.
But a lot
They,
of these knives
all
come
the
with this
Chinese
tech lock.
companies are doing it. Well,
Why is
they're
that?
starting to not do it anymore. They're
What,
starting.
okay, what are they doing in this place?
Because even the bloom, bloom comes with that big old clip, and the clip's bigger than the knife.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a Kaiser hair. I mean, look at, and again, this is one of my favorite EDC knives. But this, with this thing on there, this leather sheath, a pocket sheath that's custom, is lighter than this.
Yeah.
If you talk about lightweight, I mean, it's because of this. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they do that clip. There was, I forgot, the Shard. Who did the Shard? You guys in the chat will know. Did Kaiser do the Shard QSP? Somebody did one, and it came with a different clip. Civivi did make an Elementum fixie. I could have swore it was much larger than the Civivi folder, though. Right? Wasn't it? I don't know.
I think it was. I'm weighing odds here. So I know that Civivi, because I was looking at it and I was like, oh, that, and I started that again. That you start down this knife journey. It was a couple of years ago, and you know what did it for me was the minimalist, and that's what kind of, okay, I need to make a sheath for that, and then you deal with, you know, everything is, oh, this knife, no, I actually like this. So this whole knife together with the sheath is 3.2 ounces. You know, and then you deal with, but it's just, but the Kydex, I mean, this is, so this with the Kydex and no clip on it is 3.5 for the drop beer. And then, you know, it's just, this sheath I made is a thicker leather. You know, so this is 3.9. And this is actually, if you don't know if you can see it, that's actually a thick leather.
Yeah,
I didn't even use a thinner leather on that.
You do nice thick leather, that is for sure.
I do thicker, I do thinner. I mean, you've got a couple that some of them were thinner, some of them were thicker. You know, I just kind of, but most of the sheets that I make are lighter than the damn Kydex that comes with it.
Yeah. This is a little bit thinner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the thinner ones. But some people, and you said that, you know, you like the thinner leather. So it just depends on what you want. But yeah,
depends. But they make, what I like about your sheaths is it's a small package. Like, that just makes it such a nice, you can fit that in your pocket and still have room to put something else in your pocket. You know,
so this is a great example. So this with the drop beer, this is what comes with it. And when you put the clip on there, it's heavier. This is lighter, but look at the profile of the two together on what you're carrying.
I know. They need to stop with the pancake sheet with EDC fixed blades or anything that's related.
This is leather. It's nicer. It's lighter. It takes up less real estate than that.
Why would you're not going to get an argument with me because even with this Dust Devil, which is my buddy Casey over at Tempest Knives Fast. It comes with a pancake sheath. I made this sheath for this knife because I didn't want the other side of that, so I did that.
Yeah, I don't know the reasoning of why they do that. I don't know.
Adventure
you may have more.
Thank you for being a channel member.
I love that knife. I love that knife. I love that sheath. God, I love that.
Thank you. Yes, the TRM tag along taco sheath is
that's
excellent.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
Because you can put a clip on that too.
You can have two options. Well, it comes with an ulti clip.
Right.
I just prefer carrying scout
Yeah.
carry. So I just pulled one of my loops off of another knife and put it on this. But like we talked about with the Bloom having the two holes, it gives
Right.
you the option to be able to put different clips on it or loops or however you want to do it. If you want to carry it vertical, you can carry it vertical. If you want to pocket,
Yeah.
you can do pocket.
And it's a smaller knife. It's not a, that's the thing.
Super small.
So what do you, and again, so somebody asked earlier, what do you carry? I mean, you want something that's, like you said, you don't like bigger knives. I mean, you want something that's minimal. So, and I'm asked a lot, what do you carry every day? It kind of varies, but I like minimal. I mean, and again, it kind of depends on what I'm doing. I like a minimal knife. I like something that's lightweight. Unless, I mean, it depends on my activity for the day. If I'm going camping with the girls, it's going to be different. Yeah. But typically I'll carry, probably, I don't know. Somebody asked it earlier. That's what I'm trying to figure. It just depends on what I'm doing for the day. So I don't like. I'm like you. I don't like big knives. I don't need a big knife. The more minimal, the better. For me, anyway. So, and the knives that you produce are just, oh my god, just.
I'm getting more and more into folders that are a little bit larger. Yes, Kelly, that new quiet carry weighty fixed blade is awesome. That thing is pretty killer. I'm glad the sheath is working out. I'm glad you got that one, Kelly. That thing is pretty sick. Tactile turn fixed blade design. Best damn ADC is really good, but the handle seems too
Taylor
long.
Martin, the guy named after two guitars, Taylor and Martin. And I watch his reviews. He does some really honest opinions on what he thinks, but that's one of those I haven't handled, but I think he does. I think he's kind of leaned into like big idea designs, and that he's kind of going that route, and in fact I'll turn doing that. But I just, somebody asked, I like the smaller, and I was like, Scott, everything you do is not huge. I mean, it's a functional knife. It's good steel. Because I remember I was talking to you. You were telling me that there's only a couple of different steels that you use. Because I said I like D2, and you were like, well, D2 is great, but in certain conditions it'll rust, and we live in those conditions. So may not be the best option.
And it, for me, when it comes to steel, because everybody's, have you tried this? Have you tried that? It becomes an issue with availability, price. I don't want to rip people over the coals for my knives, and if I have to spend $150 just for a bar of steel, then that's going to trickle down to the buyer. I've worked with MagnaCut. I've worked with LMAX. I've worked with ADCRV2. I've worked with AEB-L, Nitro V. I've worked with all these steels, but ADCRV2, AEB-L, and Nitro V are three that I can get pretty much anywhere. And if I can't find it, I can find it at one of the other three places that I buy my steels from. So it has to be readily available and for me to use. MagnaCut is great because of the corrosion resistance and all of those things, but you have to take care of your knives too. And Nitro V and AEB-L are good stainless. They're not the best stainless. I would love to be able to say, okay, I'm going to work with LC200N, and then I'd never have to worry about anything rusting ever again. But I don't know what that stuff's like to work with. Like I said, I have done MagnaCut, and it's
Yeah.
it's good stuff too. But
But this
I
is like
also
the
have to send that
Bradford
up
is
for heat treat.
the AEBL, and this is honest to God. And I have a video I sent to my friends. This is honest to God. One of these sharp. And this is so again. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've been camping all over the country. I've been backpacking for weeks at a time with no human contact. And then I'm ex law enforcement, and this is one of the sharpest knives I've ever put in my hand to where it's almost, in fact, I told my daughters, if you see this, please don't touch it because it's that, no, seriously, it's that sharp. It can
Yeah.
hurt you if you play around with it. This is AEBL. And so this is a great steel, fantastic steel. Nitro V is another one. I think. Don't you work with Nitro V?
Nitro V is basically almost the same thing as AEB-L, except it has more palladium in it. So
Okay.
but they're in the same family, and if they have this right hardness and the right angle of the sharpening bevel, and they have a good heat treat, etc., you're going to get a nice sharp blade. You can ask some people in the chat. I try to sharpen my stuff really well, and some people have been caught, and they sometimes bite. So you have to be careful with them. They are sharp, and I heat treat them when I get them heat treated, because I don't heat treat the stainless. I ask for 61 HRC, and Peter's Heat Treat, who I use, sends me with a report, which I share and I send with all my knives, that just that tells you, hey, I got this knife. It was heat treated by Peters, and it is an HRC of 61 HRC.
And I don't want to go back to this, but I think again, I mean, it's worth mentioning is that this is kind of what I'm talking about whenever you buy a knife or you're going through, you send the report. You don't have to. You're doing that because, you don't, nobody's asked you for that. You're just, because the transparencies. You believe in your product that much. You believe in what you're doing that much, and you're like, here you go. I got nothing to hide. I mean, here it is. Here's this. That you deliver on what you promised to deliver on, and I think that speaks volumes. I think that speaks volumes.
I've been open and honest from the beginning when it comes to especially the heat treat, because heat treating is the heart of that blade and that steel. If you're not getting a good heat treat, you're sending out something that you're going to have to sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen.
Right.
It'll never hold an edge very well. And I do my best with heat treating the ADCRV2 that I do in house, following that recipe and trying to get that heat treat dialed in. But I've been honest from the beginning. I don't have the equipment or any of those things to be able to heat treat in house stainless.
But the other side, and I don't mean to cut you off, but the other side of that is that you're not producing 300 knives a month. Take quality in what you're doing. You take the effort to make sure that everything that leaves your shop is what it should be and what it's advertised to be, and what you'll stand behind that. And I think that's the difference, is you're not mass producing stuff. You're not just, here, spaghetti on the wall, let's see what sticks. And, hopefully, I mean, you take pride in everything that you do.
Yeah.
You take, there's a sense of that. And I get that from you, or honestly, like I say, I don't want to deal with people that are, out to, hey, we can do this, we can make this amount of money. And I don't, at the end of the day, I honestly, and it may sound ridiculous, but I don't care, because I don't want anything leaving here. Three Feather EDC is after my three daughters, Sophia, Ava, and Emily. And I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm sending something out the door that may not be up to specs or may not have the amount of effort that I would put into something.
Exactly.
And I think you're the same way. and that's why I like, working,
Yeah. I
dealing with you and talking to you, and you have that passion, and you're that way. You're not, I'm not producing 800 knives this week. I'm doing a drop of 10. That's it. When
yeah,
they're
I
gone,
can't.
they're gone.
And I've tried to push myself more, and it became to the point where this has to be fun for me still. This has to be
Right. Yeah.
somewhat enjoyable. And if I get to the point
Right.
where I'm super stressed and then my dyslexic ADHD brain kicks in and I start missing things, and then it'll just things go south real fast. So I can't. I have to. And the quality has to be there. And
Yeah.
if I have to take a step back, which I've done, I've been like, okay, but that's why I do what I do. It's like I'm only making maybe 7 blades a
Right.
month, and if I
Yeah.
can squeeze in another one, I'll squeeze in another one. But
Right.
I do
No,
my
and
best. Kelly says, "God bless
you know, I do the same. I'm the same way. I have to enjoy what I'm doing. I have
you."
to. Excuse me, I'm sneezing over here. No, I have to enjoy what I'm doing. And I had this past, and I don't do it often, but this past week I had a guy that, yeah, excuse me. But he was getting ready to send his stuff in, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna have to hold back." And I'm like, "Is there an issue? Something heard?" And he's like, "No, I lost." Excuse me.
But
He's like, "No, I just lost my job. It was totally
uh,
out of the blue. Wasn't expecting it. I've got to conserve what I have. Um, definitely want to get something made. I have this knife. I worked hard to get it, and I definitely want a sheath for it. But I have family, and yeah, excuse me."
bless
And
you.
he's like, "I have family right now, and that's the major concern." I said, "Just send me the knife. I'll make the sheath. There's no charge. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it." And I don't do that often. I don't do it. I don't want
Yeah.
people hitting me up for free sheaths, but you know, um, there's that sense of doing what we do and making something for somebody that brings somebody joy. And I know you told me the thing that stuck with me is like when you made your first knife or you started making knives that you said, "Oh my God, I did that." And that's when it kind of clicked with you. Is you were like, "Oh my God, I actually did that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sense of
And
accomplishment is it's
it's huge.
still to
Right.
this day, whenever I finish a product, I'm like, man, I'm pretty proud of that. And
Right.
and to your point, it's happened to me where somebody will commission a knife, and somewhere along the build process, they've lost their job or
Life happened.
but as long as they're communicating with me, I'll hold that here until they're ready. No, I don't
Yeah.
usually don't do payment plans and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
but I will try. Yeah, guys, Adventure 50 is going on in about 7 minutes, so make sure you check him out. Adventure 50 is doing some cool stuff. Make sure you show off your Aries Cardinal XL adventure. I'm just kidding. But yeah, but I've worked out payment plans. But then I've also had people who just ghost me. Like
Yeah.
they'll
Oh, I
commission
get
a
a lot of
knife,
that.
and then I build that knife, and I send them
Yeah.
updates all the time of what's going
Yeah.
on, and then all of a sudden I nothing. I get nothing
Yeah.
back, and I'm like, hey, I finished it, and then nothing. And
Yeah.
I have held a knife for 3 months, hearing nothing, before I was
Yeah.
like, hey, and I gave them, hey, I'm going to give you another 2 weeks, or I'm going to have to sell this, and then I just threw it up on the Etsy store, or
Yeah.
I think somebody had reached out and said they wanted it.
So what I do, what I do is that you pay up front. And if I'm, I like,
Fine.
brown sheath or whatever, brown thread, and then I'll hit up, I'll go back to them and go, "Hey,
It's
I'm about done
gone.
here, about done there." And if I don't hear from them, it's going to get mailed out.
It's gone,
And,
trouble buddy.
that's the way it is. I've got you know, and I've actually got one now where, you know, I mean, everything, all the terms, and sometimes people just don't read and they don't understand. And I've got, you know, a guy that just placed an order 3 days ago and it's like, you know, hey, I'm following up on a sheet. Well, lead time's 21 days. It's on the, you know, it's on the website. It's on the bottom of the website, but it's on the banner and it's also on the checkout page. So, hey, you know, I'll do what I can, and I try to beat that. I'm actually a couple of weeks ahead, but you know,
There you go.
some people, you know,
and that's cool. That's why this last 2 months I decided I have like a couple customer builds, but basically I'm doing everything that I want.
Right. That's kind of what I'm at now too. So I'm making the I'm finalizing the Azula and Azula 2. I'm looking at making leather handles. That's something I'm getting into.
That's awesome.
I know Christmas is coming up, and actually got these. Yeah, they're just in my drawer where I ordered. These are solid brass Chicago screws for the
There you go.
for the grips, for, you know, for the handles for those, and start doing that. But it's kind of hard where you gotta cut everything off and go, you know, hey, this is, I have to focus on this to be, you know, to do what I want to do. It's not about money. It's not about, you know, I can sit there and throw stuff out there all day long and sell it and do this, and you know, I make sheaths for this many knives, and you know, I have to have some kind of
there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance.
Yeah,
you have to have. You have to have that work life hobby, fun, not fun. Work balance.
I
balance all that out.
I do, but you know, I'll spend 40 plus hours a week doing this, and I'm fine with it because it brings me joy. I really enjoy doing what I do. I really enjoy when somebody gets something and like, oh my God, you know, I spent, you know, I didn't order a, you know, $130 sheath. I got this sheath and it's exactly what I was looking for. Or, you know, hey, I was doing this, and sometimes I'll do something and just so I think Rory was one of those that I'm like, I want to see how this turns out. And I did it and I put it up and he bought it in a couple of hours. And I'm like, you know, it's great if he does, it's great if I do, but you know, I want it. There's some things I just want to do. And I'm just grateful that
you just do it.
I have the that I can be able to do it. And so we're just very fortunate. Very fortunate.
I'm about to do that here probably at the end of this month. We're going on and on about I like small knives and I'm not real big into big knives, and then I'm going to be doing that.
But what's the overall length on that?
It's 8 inches overall.
Okay.
And the only reason I know it's 8 inches is because I designed it around this one bar of steel that is the Pops Pro Cut.
Okay.
And basically it's a newer steel Pops knife supply.
I was going to ask about that because I've never heard of it.
Yeah, they're huge. The people that run it are amazing, and they have this Pops Pro Cut. And so I was like, it's an 8-inch bar. That's not really big enough for me to do 2 knives out of. So why don't I design a knife that I could just do one big knife? So I'm going to be doing that out of Pops Pro Cut. I can heat treat this here. So I'm going to have fun doing that. And so just so you guys know, the video that drops tomorrow are the 4 stainless went out for heat treat. The Nitro V and the LMAX, the skeletonized spike that I did. That all went out to heat treat on Friday. That video drops tomorrow. So I am now working on those 4, the 2 raw copper, the Wesser, and the pedal. So I'm doing those. The Wesser and the pedal are interesting because I'm using a thinner blade stock. This is like 3/32 blade stock instead of 1/8 inch. So it's a little bit thinner because the pedal is such a small little EDC neck knife that I think that'll be a little bit of a slicer. So I'm hoping to get those done and then those sent out to heat treat, and then I could focus on the ADCRV2 stuff and that, because I have the mini gargoyles, which are a skeletonized blade. So those are ADCRV2. So I'm going to be working on those before the end of the year. And then the final and one of the last ones I'll probably ever do, the naked column, which will be pretty cool. But these are all skeletonized. I don't do handles. I don't do anything on them. And I got some really cool, fun handle materials coming out with some of these. I know Urban Woodsman wants to see that. So that'll be fun. And actually, I got some vintage micarta, which I'm kind of excited about working with on a knife. I've been wanting to get some of this stuff, and it's vintage, all right. It is completely vintage. But yeah, it smelled when I pulled that thing out of the package. But yep, we're going to have some fun with some G-Carta, GL Hansen's and Sons stuff, some rag Carta, and some other fun stuff. So it's going to be a really cool next couple months. I look forward to using some of this stuff.
I love that.
To be pretty fun. I think I'm gonna do a bloom in that stuff probably in January though. I have plans for a lot of that stuff, but it's gonna run.
Can I see that? Can you show me that again? That handle you just put up.
The handle material.
Yeah.
There's this one.
Yeah, that's that one. I'll try to see if. Yeah, okay. I'm sitting there going through thread, going, "Do I have something that'll match that?" Yeah, okay. Yeah,
go.
no, that's beautiful. I mean, I see their stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to find something that'll match that. Their colors are just so amazing, and it's not. It's basically something to. It's not to match their stuff. It's just like, oh my god, that's a really beautiful. Yeah. So they just
all of this stuff is going to be
amazing stuff.
Some of this stuff is going to be pretty fun to work with. And then Bluminati is sending me some Ultim. So I've never worked with Ultim. I have no idea what that stuff is like. So I'm kind of terrified of that to see what that looks like. So I don't know. I have a lot of different things, and I'm not afraid to try some new stuff. But I know some of the natural stuff is where I kind of take a step back. But
no, I tell you, Scott, there's things that one of the things that makes you unique and different is there are some things I look at and I start to worry about it. I'm like, and I just tell them, just screw it, just do it. And you know, and you just do it, and it's like, okay, this turned out better than I thought, or maybe it wasn't what I was looking for. But I love the way that you your knives and everything.
As soon as I take it to the bandsaw, I'll be able to tell if I'm going to be able to work with it or not work with it.
Right?
So,
yeah.
I got that stuff all from GL Hansen and Son, Trouble Bunny.
Yeah.
They make all their own handle materials. So if you go to GL Hansen's and Son's website, like
this is a, and I'll say this is a Serape handle from Kaiser that they did. Go look at the one GL Hansen did compared to that. Yeah. And you're like, oh, fantastic. I mean, just totally beautiful stuff.
How dare I work with? Hey, Bluminati's sending it to me, Jim. You can blame him. I know DBD might go crazy if he finds out that I'm working with some Ultim. He loves his Ultim. I have the Ultim Bloom, but I've never worked with Ultim before, so we'll see. We'll see how it works. But anyway, Sean, this was awesome. It's already late for me, and I'm
Yeah, me too.
exhausted, but yeah,
No, I get to rest. But no, I just wanted to check in. Like I said,
yeah, man.
I didn't have any major announcement or anything like that. I mean, you're
No, it
great. You're
sounds like
fantastic. You just
you're
keep doing what you're doing, man.
same to you.
Um, I love everything that you do. Um, it's so refreshing to see your content, to see everything that you're doing. And I'm like,
Yeah,
to me, when I watch it, I'm like, finally somebody gets it. Somebody understands what we want to see, and not the
yeah.
same thing over and over
I
again. It's
try.
just,
I try to do some different stuff. I really try. I've been
you
trying
do
to grow the
fantastic at
channel.
it,
I'm
man.
trying to get to 4,000 subs. I have a ton of giveaway items for that one, but yes, red Ultim. I know they're coming out with all these different colors of Ultim, Jim. I don't blue's sending me just the yellow stuff, far as I know. And oh no, what did you just send me? Oh, dude, that's so killer. So Bluminati does some laser stuff, and he did
Yeah.
these. He's sending me ones with the thorn. He's sending me some other stuff. I don't even know what that is, Blue, but it's amazing. I'll do an unboxing for you guys. I'm not gonna share that with you guys, but
Yeah.
we'll be doing some fun stuff. But I have a ton of stuff coming out for you guys in the next couple days. I shared this. This was my carry for today, the Vosteed Croc in, which is awesome. I wish I would have grabbed one of those. I have a Vero Engineering Avid 1 in on the channel, which is an awesome budget-friendly Vero, which is kind of crazy if you've ever handled one of these. This is the G10 version. Really awesome. And today I just got in 2 concepts. I forgot the name of them already. This is the Kosame. That thing is pretty stinking cool. I love
that's
that blade
nice.
shape. Very similar to my micro blade shape, but that thing is pretty cool. Button lock. And then the Model 6 from Concept. I got that in with that nice copper infused carbon fiber, which has a really great blade shape. But yep, I got all these in, guys. So I'm going to be doing reviews on all of these. And I have a bunch of other knives coming in this week too. And I also got my Flightanium Arcade Light in, which has been really stinking cool. Speaking of that, but you guys are awesome. I saw the rock hopper on Knives Fast. The new Scott got it. Yeah, Jim. The first pass around knife I ever did, I sent the rock hopper, the blue rock hopper, to Casey over at Knives Fast, and it was this model, but with blue G10.
Love that.
And I was crazy to be like, yeah, you're a knife reviewer. Here's one of my knives to take a look at. Jim now owns that knife, but that's when he saw it. But anyways, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for popping in, guys. Please check out the ending of some of the videos that are going to be coming out later this month, because thanks to Bluminati, I now have a new outro to some of my videos. I don't know if I can show it on here without getting in trouble. I don't see why I wouldn't. But I have a new outro on on. I have to, maybe I'll try to pull it up. All right, let me see if I can show you guys without getting in too much trouble. Just because I have to show it to you, and then I'm going to be out. But let's try to do this. Let me do this. Okay. We're going to share. I'm going to.
Yeah, I saw that.
How about that? Thank you, Bluminati, for giving me that. But that's going to be the new outro to the channel. That was awesome. Sean, thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me
tonight. I was just going to kind of hang out by myself, but it's always a lot of fun to have somebody on. So thanks.
Oh, yeah.
And
No, thanks for having me. Like I said, I wanted to check in. I mean, you just like I say, I don't check in with knife makers often, but you're one of those. It's just like I said, everything you do is fantastic, and
Feel free to check
you
in.
know,
We need to work out a couple details before 2026, and then, but that's not really that big of a deal. It's just really I need to know money stuff, and we can talk about that another not here.
yeah,
But
no, yeah.
anyway,
No,
guys,
I get it, and
you guys
like
are
I said,
awesome.
I'm so fortunate to,
Yeah,
like I
sounds
said, I
like you
just,
got your hands full with a bunch of cool stuff, so that's awesome. But
yeah.
all right, guys, I'm trying to end this, and you guys are awesome. Have a great week. You guys take care. Please remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is always yours. Later.